Hi, welcome. This is Mark Skater coming here live, and this week we're gonna do something different with our videos. Today, I decided to make a video kind of capturing what happened in a Larp world. So, just rewind everything, go back, think of fantasy, think of medieval, and it's a Larp world, live action roleplay. So that's one of the things which I used to do in 2014, and currently there's a new group going on that I'm joining. It's called Tales, Singapore Larp Tales of Eredyn. Hope I pronounced it correctly. It's run by my friend called Dean, and they just started their first quest just not too long ago, which sadly I couldn't join. But I've been kind of joining with the chat groups. So there are two sides. There are the vampires, and I'm in the human faction of the groups. And recently I've been a bit more active, so I decided to record down some of the chats that's happening on today. I'm going to try to roleplay it out and make it more interesting. And you can tag along and follow the story of what my character is Sir Orric. He comes from a slightly different world. And he's kind of confused as to this world, and I'll explain the story, or the character will explain how he kind of gets got here. And this world is quite different, it's quite odd, and he meets quite different characters, and some of them are real players, some of them NPCs, and we'll just see how it goes. So this is the story of Ethuil Kingdom, Tales of Eredyn. I think I'm messing up the names, but I'll figure them out and hopefully pronounce them with the right names in the future videos. So here we go. We got a couple of players, or other players, characters in this world. And my character just kind of stumbled and figured out his way here. Let's see, how should I introduce? He does introduce how he gets here. So let's just dive right in, and then we'll go back to his backstory of how he appears. So we have a couple of characters talking. We have a character called Random Guy, and they're talking about flanking some attacks and training the locals. When it's on OCC, that means out of character. So I'll just mainly read the in-character dialogue. So I heard about this world, my character introduces themselves, I'm going to read in my character, Sir Orric. And they're talking about, previously they're talking about vampires, and my character is unaware of such creatures, so he then says, Sir Orric says, vampires, what are these creatures you speak of? Random Guy in the inn, OMG, you must not be from around here. Vampires are like the most vile evil creatures. As them, they have a few encounters with these creatures, referring to the people in the group. Kappa, would you mind sharing your experience to the stranger over there? Kappa speaks. He sips his meat. Vampires, a tragic tale, if I say so myself. I don't know how the voice of Kappa is, but this is how I imagine he would sound. Random Guy nods. Perhaps your blade is dull from the years of peace. Perhaps our caution ceased under the malevolent rule of the former king, Alaskar, the vampire himself. No one truly expects the attack, not even my own father. Oh, but don't misunderstand, the vampire did not kill him, they didn't even touch him. You see, my ancestors were hailed as a great seeker of the land. Powerful mages they were, heroes of great arcane might. These legends were a burden. So Sir is listening and getting information. And then another character speaks up, Mr. Tan. Vampires, humans, elves, orcs. Are they the same under the heavens? Is it a flaw of the Dark Prince's ambition? Not the people, they only follow suits. So Random Guy goes into the encounter. Later on we'll find out what's the character name for that. Mr. Tan continues, the word of tyrant only sways his truth in favor. The wise seek the real truth. Now back to Kapath. When the vampires attack, the people look to us to defend them. We wanted to be a scholar, a writer, but the people need none of those things. They need warriors. and so I have to cast my book aside to wield arcane weapons. Unlike my ancestors, I was inadequate. Suffice to say, I suck. It took me months to conquer a simple mana missile. And when I finally did, it cost my father his right eye and both his legs. He is now crippled. And I was cast aside. I find it easier to cast my guilt on these vampires, unhonorable perhaps. Random guy walks back to the table, hands a mug of meat to all. At the moment I don't have my cup, so I'm not yet, but let me just take a quick sip. And a random guy says, please have a drink, sit at this table. I hope he was referring to me, I guess. So yes, I have my cup and I have a sip and I sit at the table. Kepath continues. But I'm simply doing what it takes to survive. I might be a knight of Ethuil, but unlike all of you, I'm not a hero. Merely a coward swinging a sword, a disgraceful weapon for a mace, I must add. To run away from my past. So in out of character, he doesn't have a sword yet and is planning to make one this time. It is always dishonorable. It's always easier. Dishonorable. Not as much, for what is honor without flaws? Heroes live and die with patriotism. Patriotism is utter heroism, friend, not honor. Pathos. I've come to learn that in times of war, honor matters not. This time, as long as you aid the people and land in whatever way you see fit, whatever one thinks honor is, they will have it in kind. And aid I shall, Kepath replies. Random guy. Indeed, honor cannot save your life. The sad truth, we must do what we can to survive in these cruel times. Kepath replies. But despite so, I find honor in these trying times admirable. And now a random guy looks at my character. So stranger. You see what this creature has done to our peaceful town? Not only has it ruined half of the population he is dead, sad truth. He takes a sip of his meat, which is like beer or wine. I'm just drinking orange juice, by the way, so that's nice. Alright, random guys. So yes, maybe not as many honorable. Because of character stuff. Jump forward now. Random guy. It seems stranger is asleep. Oh well. He finishes up the meat. And then I awaken. I introduce my character. His name is Sir Orric. And he's inspired from a movie called Knight's Tale. And if you have not watched it, it has a really particular scene, a very memorable scene, introducing one of his friends, introducing his main character. You can check it out in the link. It's a beautiful. I don't want to spoil it here by giving you like a poorly link, like re-recording of it. So I choose my character, my backstory, and there's a bunch of. Well, let's dive right into it. So I want to get back to the interaction. This is all backstory, which I will come back to it when I go across it. So. I was awake, I was telling my story, and oh, you're awake! I thought you were asleep for a second. Well, people call me Pete, so that was the random guy. The random guy is called Pete. You can call me whatever you want. Alright, yes, I'm awake. Old habits. I spent many months in the village as a dragon slayer. Dragons would attack at night, and I would patrol the night, and I guess old habits is still in me. So my character has a backstory where I want to go into the full backstory later on, so we'll come back to that, how he got here. And there was a bit of chit chat with Pete. Pete extends his hand and shake. Nice to meet you, Sir Orric. He smiles. Yes, you are asleep. Same as everyone else in the middle of the night. You should too. Need to save your strength where you know when these creatures attack. Sir Orric replies, good advice, sir. Where I serve, we always sleep with one eye open and one ear awake. So those cunning dragons will attack you when you least expect. And he slowly murmurs and drifts and slams his face on the table and falls into a deep sleep. You need not worry about dragons over here. For past millenniums, there are only one attack recorded. You should be more worried of his sleep. And during his sleep, Sir Orric has a couple of memories, flashbacks, images from his past, comes up and forth, and they are still fragmented to just before he arrives. And he then explains, he was trying to recall how he got here. And then while Sir Orric's asleep, we then go on to a little chit chat. Pete then carried on. He knocks. Uncle Tan, are you awake? Knock, knock, knock. Uncle Tan, yes. What can Rickshaw Tan do for you? Pete, I have brought some food and water. How about we have lunch together? Nicholas, that's a great idea. Pete, hi there. May I know your name? Nick replies, my name is Nicholas Wilgard, sir. I come from the Wilgard family. Pleased to meet you. Pete replies, pleasure is mine. Lucky I brought enough for 3. Uncle Tan, does your place have enough for 3 people? Nick, honored to meet you, Sir Pete. Pete, oh, don't call me sir, just call me Pete. And Pete replies, Uncle Tan, after we have our lunch, why not we go hunt for herbs? The supply in the town is running low. Uncle Tan, my humble home is open to all. Of course. Let's go hunting. Pete replied, that's great. Nicholas, yes, food, Sir Orric. At the moment Sir Orric wakes up, did I hear someone say food? Nicholas replied, yes, food, Sir Orric. Pete, we only have enough for 3. Nicholas, did you bring any bread with you? And Nicholas then snaps a photo. This is my lunch, the local call it Lasiloma. Sir Orric replies, woo. Pete replies, nice. And Simon, oh, this is Simon's lunch. Simon says, it's red, it's almost gone, there's not enough to go around. Sir Orric sees the food and interestingly asks, so this is nasi lemak? Struggling to pronounce. I will try one day. What is in it? Is there meat? Simon replies, yes, chicken. Oh, it's fried egg, it's fried chicken, egg, some special tiny specimens of fish which I'm currently studying. There aren't any in the northwest region. Rice, a form of carbohydrates, rare for my side of the world, as well as a spicy sauce the locals call samba. May I know who are you? So they introduce themselves. You talking to me? Well, I am Sir Orric, pardon my old habits. I used to serve as a royal guard under the High King of another world called Vanctor. Now, I just go by Sir Orric. Speaking of which, what is the name of this town and inn I am in? Simon replies, a pleasure to meet you, Sir Orric. I am Simon Sorrowbook. This town is Evergreen, and as this inn, he is not sure. I rarely come here to eat, though the food is not bad. The people here are cautious to strangers. I'm sure you have noticed. Sorry. My brain still hurts from everything. It's a little fuzzy since I woke up in a cave and stumbled into this village. So I am not exactly sure what's going on here. The narrator introduces. You see there's 3-story house of what you see like a townsman drinking inside, and 2 lever lamps. 2 levers. Lamps near the windows, hanging on the top of the main doorway. There's a sign that reads Evergreen House. You see, that's the name of this inn. So Orric extends his hand and greets Simon. Simon shakes his hand. So Orric says, my head's still hurting. Simon replies, oh, what's wrong? What are your symptoms? I'm not a doctor, but I may be young. But I assure you, I'm well versed in most things. So Orric replies, I have trouble I have trouble remembering how I got here. Everything is in fragments. Is that it? A weakness? Fatigue? No? So Orric takes a sip of his drink places his mug down on the table, takes a long breath, and Simon asks, "So what are your symptoms?" "Ah, here's what I remember. 3 days ago, my wolf clan and I were in the dark swamp forest on a quest in search of some giant ox tusk. So, as a side story, Sir Orric's personal quest is to find 13 ox tusks, as he would like to make a special necklace to return to his land, to propose to a fair maiden who is a blacksmith daughter for her hand in marriage, and he plans to collect 13 giants ox tusks. So this is one of his quests, he's hunting giants ox. Alright, so on his quest for search for some giant ox tusks, when he came a hot trail 5 miles from their camp, the wolf clan and I found out we were outnumbered. After scouting and counting the numbers for 2 days, we decided to retreat on the 3rd day. Then just 1 day ago, we made our retreat to regroup for reinforcements. We were a little misdirected. Someone in the corner of the inn shouted, "You were lost!" Like, no, we were a little misdirected. The narrator voiceover, they were lost. The trail disappears. We were misdirected. We tried to retrace our step, but we ended up deeper in the dark swamp, which is bad. Always bad. This area of the swamp is known to have heavy, barbaric orcs, 4 times smaller the size of regular orcs, but 10 times crazier and savage. They are so crazy they sometimes even fight naked. Simon replies, "So you woke up in a cave?" And the voice on the corner of it, "Say what?" So he replies, "Naked, yes. No armor, no clothing, just bare ass, swords, and axe and clubs. Some of them have very small clubs between their legs, if you know what I mean." Okay, that's going off topic. But you know what I mean. So the long story is short, we have to retreat as we fled. We jumped into the muddy lake, because in an attempt to escape from the orcs, because we know orcs don't swim as well. But the water was thick, very thick. We started to drop our weapons and our armor to try to stay afloat. And there was a strange undercurrent that pulled me deeper and deeper below the muddy surface. Soon I could barely keep my head above the water, above the muddy level, and a strange force sucked me to the bottom of this muddy pool. That is where things got fuzzy. I passed in and out of consciousness, and I can only remember fragments of memories. I remember colors, rainbow, and a gateway of some magical sort. The narrator then, "That's a vortex!" Sure, it's a vortex. There was a lot of water flooding my face, and I could remember hearing voices. I can't recall what they were saying, but they sound like male voices. Talking and chatting, I couldn't make out what they were saying. Simon asks, "So you remember only this past week?" "Things got a bit fuzzy after that," Simon replies. "He's suffering from amnesia. It's a memory loss." So it goes on. "Next thing I remember, I woke up in a rainbow cavern. I squeezed what remains." Something like that, rainbow cavern. Some reference. "I squeezed what remained of my clothing dry and stumbled into the town and got myself a drink. And that's where I met Pete last night. We had a little chit chat about my past and I fell asleep." Simon replies, "It usually affects elderly people who have brain trauma." And then Pete walked in. "Ah, Sir Orric, I see you met Simon here." Pete sits down at the table. Simon looks at Pete and says, "Don't worry, from what you told me, I can conclude there's nothing too serious and you will recover." "Hello, Pete." Simon greets Pete. Orric continues, "I heard someone say food a few hours ago and now I'm explaining what I remember. I hope to find out about this land and place and if there's a way to return home." "Amnesia, you say, Simon, huh? Okay. I can still remember most of my past and history, who I am, where I came from, but it's just what happened last night that's a big blank." So Orric then looks at Pete. "Ah, Pete, you're back. Good day." Pete speaks to Simon. "Hi Simon, what happened? Has someone been sick?" Simon replies, "Orric is suffering from a form of amnesia." Orric then chimes in, "Maybe I need some medicine. Barkeep, pour me a round of meat. That should help my headache. Pete then replies, OMG, another one? That's just another one guy. Who always here with a memory problem. What's his name again? Sir Orric then narrates, a lady barkeep refills Sir Orric's mark to the brim. And the barkeep winks at Sir Orric and walks away back to the bar. Sir Orric then replies, friendly people here are. The narrator, Pete then, the narrator replies, the barmaid gives a mark of meat to Sir Orric, I guess. Simon then adds on, while alcohol can serve as an anesthetic, I recommend staying away from the meat for the duration of your anesthesia. And he refuses the mark of meat from the barmaid. So Simon graciously declined the meat, and he says, someone has to stay sober. And sorry, that goes a bit off topic. Oh, that was not a barmaid? So who's that friendly lady that just winked at me? The barmaid then, the narrator ends. No meat, Simon? How about good old water from the river, eh? Clean, safe water. The barmaid then, oh, pardon me, I did not wink at you. Too sorry. Pete, oh, take a chill pill, he's suffering from memory loss. The barmaid man, and she walks off to serve someone else. Sorry to barmaid. Sounds like a wise choice. No meat for Simon. Would you like me to keep his jug safe till would you like me to keep his jug of meat safe till you are ready? Barmaid takes away Simon's mug. Okay. Seems like meat is a way for people who are lost. Sorry to Pete. Truer words have never been spoken. Pete then, Simon, where's the other guy? They may be friends with Sir Orric here. Orric takes another sip from his jug, places it back on the table with foam across his face like a white moustache. Seems I'm really lost. How about another round? Wouldn't hurt, would it? A friend. Sir Orric's eyes open and he sits up, still with white foam moustache across his upper lip from the meat. I have friends here? Sir Orric, curious to find out who they are. Pete then replies, quite a drinker, hey. The barmaid walks over and refills the jugs and stares at Sir Orric. Sir Orric confused, of course. Pete replies, maybe I don't know. From what I heard, there's a guy that don't even remember his name and he's a bit edgy on the side. Orric looks at there's a random guy in the corner of the inn and points at the barmaid. The random voice replies, no, she's not winking at you. Pretty sure he was. The barmaid. No, it's not winking at you. Pete then, Keppa, come over here. Pete says, meet a new face, and he points at Sir Orric. Keppa enters. Greetings, Sir Orric. We have met yesterday, no? Oh, this is a picture of what the foam is supposed to look like across my face. So curious to see this Keppa fella. He wipes his white foam mustache of meat on his face. He sits up in his chair. He lifts his jug and takes another sip. Lowering his mug, he revealed another foam mustache across his face. Pete, oh, did you? Sir Orric extended his hand. Sorry, my head is still hurting and a little fuzzy. I'm having trouble recalling what happened the last day. But it's my pleasure to meet you, good sir. My name is Orric. I stumbled into this inn last night. Pete then adds. Pete says, you see, I tell you, Keppa, he cannot remember a day before. Well, a round of meat should help him remember. Keppa, my good man, come. Sit with me and tell me your story. Sir Orric gestures Keppa to sit. Sir Orric tries to wave to the barmaid to get attention for another round for his friend. The barmaid comes over, puts the jug gently in front of Keppa. Barmaid, it goes. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. So 1 silver and 2 copper, please. Kappa laughs. Was I that forgettable? Kappa goes on. My story is not one as mysterious and as noble as yours and everyone else. Sorry replies to the barmaid. Could you add that to my tab? And he looks at Pete, waiting for a head nod. And Kappa goes on. In fact, it's embarrassing. Perhaps another time. The barmaid replies, Tab, look, I don't even know who you are, whatever nonsense. Hurry up and pay the lot. Sorry then turns to Kappa. Kappa, do pardon me. During my weird arrival, everything's a bit fuzzy, so please go ahead and retell your story. Sorry gestures for the room to be quiet to listen. Kappa is then a bit stressed. Under the pressure, he goes, oh dear. The barmaid didn't try to ignore me. The barmaid then says to Sir Orric, don't try to ignore me. Kappa nervously looks at everyone. The barmaid looks at the master. Master, the Lord Hers doesn't want to pay for her drinks. Sir Orric then says, Kappa is trying to tell her sorry. Good Sir Pete, could I start a new tab and I'll pay thee back when I earn the keeps. The barmaid interrupts. You lot better pay up. Pete looks terrified and hands the maid 2 silver shillings. 2 silver, yes. And then we get to hear a little story from random guy.
You see a man in one corner stands up, and he reaches for something on top of him, and you see he draw out a very long weapon of a man's height.
Ah, a weapon, a long weapon. Everyone wonder who was that. The barmaid says, you lot better don't cause trouble around here, and the barmaid walks off. Ah well, the fella seems to have something to say, perhaps we should hear him instead. Orric to Pete. Thank you, Pete. I have no silver or gold with me, all I have is this necklace. He pulls out one of the 3 ox tusks on his neck as a token of borrowing. And he hands it over to Pete. When I've earned my silver, I will repay you, Pete. But until then, please keep this task safe for me. It has great value to me and it's all that I have. Sir Orric then turns to Kappa, ears wide open, and says, carry on. Kappa, what else have you here, fellow? What else brings you here, fellow with an unusually large sword? Pete then replies, oh no. If you are looking for work, the army is recruiting in a few months. When you join them, they will pass you a gold for good money. And then the narrator speaks. The man walks up the stairs with his big ass long sword. That's a bit confusing to me. Kappa then, not much of a talker I see. Peter, psst, psst. He's the guild master. He may look friendly, but rumor says he has it. He can kick ass. Simon then offers to pay. I will pay. Kappa then continues. The guild master. This is the first time I've seen him. Simon then also. Barkeep, I'll pay. The barmaid. Your friend already paid for that round. Simon. Okay. Would you like a jug of meat? Then replies Pete. Kappa then. The guild master, kick ass indeed. He walks with such ease, even with that weapon of his. Simon said, no thanks. He's still refusing the meat. Kappa, silence footsteps nonetheless, referring to the guild master. The barmaid then interrupts. A jar of silver can fill 2 rounds. Clean and cold water will suffice, Simon says. The barmaid says, sure, that will be 4 silvers. Simon pays up. The barmaid takes the money. Kappa then goes on. The guild master, he intrigues me. What is his tale? Pete then replies, no one no one knows. You have to try to get to know him, I guess. Where's the fun if you already knew? Pete replies, I have no idea. From what I know, he has been sent by the Queen to help the town to rebuild. As you can see, our town is shabby. Only a few shops are left here. Sir Orric then, listening to all this, chimes in finally. Well, a good soldier always keeps his sword nearby him, just like he pats his side and realizes he has no weapon. I see, Pete. Good sir. Do you know of a blacksmith in the town, or a town nearby? I am in need of a blade. And then we see the barmaid takes out the bread knife and waves it at Sir Orric from a distance. Sir Orric smiles slightly. Maybe something a little longer. Pete then goes on. The blacksmith in our town is out. The blacksmith from our town. The blacksmith of our town for now. The blacksmith is out of town for now. He should be back in time for the army recruitment. Sir Orric looks at random semi-drunk guy in the corner and gives a hand gesture. Look, she was totally flirting with me. Right? Right? The drunk guy shrugs his shoulder and takes a sip of the drink. Totally. It's an eye contact. So Orric noticed Pete. Alright, in the meantime, till the blacksmith return, are there any jobs opening? I need to earn some gold for my blade. The barmaid then points at a mop and a bucket in the corner of the room. Look, Pete, you serious? You're hiring? And Simon then speaks. Well, it is something. Random guy, Pete then comes in. Well, maybe he can help you build the town. I'm sure the mansions will accept more help. And then Pete says, either the mop or the stone. So it then replies, well, I have strong hands and skill of basic carpentry. When I was posted in the Dragon Valley village, they used to be raided by dragons every 3 to 4 weeks. And I sometimes would fend them off. But sometimes they cause damage to the town before they retreat. But yet I would stay and help the villagers rebuild. Sure, since these hands will not be put to work on the blade till I get my sword, let's get to work. He then says, maybe you can ask Rickshaw Tan if he has any job for you. So, okay. I'll work in the inn at night and out in the fields in the day. So Orric to Pete. I have good hands. I'll do my best to keep this place as shiny as... Oh, wait a minute. It's all wood. I'll do my best to keep this place as woody... wait, that don't make sense. I'll do my best to keep it as clean as possible. As clean as I can. And all I ask for return is a space to keep myself warm. And if the good men, townsmen and women, if you do hear of hands of labor and need of hiring, please let them know Orric is here. Quick. There's a man in the corner. Go find the mansion tomorrow. They'll be asleep right now. So Orric gestures the man from the corner that gives him information. Alrighty, old man. He raises his mug and gently toasts towards the man in the corner. The man in the corner replies, I'm not old. Sure you are. Aye. The man in the corner lifts his mug too and in reciprocate to Sir Orric's gesture. Simon leaves the table. It was a pleasure to meet you, Orric. Enjoy the evening. And all of you. He heads off. Pete then replies, out to retire early soon. Hey. So Orric toasts a mug to Simon. Good day, Simon. And Simon is, no, I have to study the geography of this vicinity. Whew. So it takes a big sip from his mug and bottles up. Time to stretch my legs. Let's go for a brisk walk. So backstory is he used to be dragon slayer protecting this village, and he was constantly doing night patrols also, so his body clock tends to kick in, and he's kind of like telling he needs to go for a stroll too. Kind of just about before sunset, he would take his early first night patrol. Simon then, concerned, he says, "You need all the knowledge we can if we were to defend ourselves," referring to the land. Alright then, good to know, no worries. I will not wander too far from the town's border. Simon then replies, "Better not, you're new here. There are bogs in the woods, be careful. Don't find out the hard way." So he stands up, brings his mug back to the barmaid counter and places it on the counter. Looks at the barmaid and gives a thumbs up. "Good meat." He walks towards the door, turn around, and tip his imaginary hat to all. "Good evening to all." He strolls out into the night. He walks out the door to the right, out of sight. After hearing a few footsteps, we hear him turn around and walk past the door the other way to the left. It's kind of New Year, so it's a bit lost. And that's where my actual character, that's my character went for a walk, and Skater has to take his dog for a walk too. Yeah, I went for a short walk at the town edge. And that is where it ends. The night of day 2 night when he arrives. So if you're interested to know a little bit more backstory, this is what Sir Orric looks like in his royal sentinel guard years. He used to be a sentinel guard. His polearm, his spear, was his primary weapon. To slay dragons. This is his like better gear version. So that's my character. I'm leader of the Wolf Clan. This is his steed. You can see. There you go. You can see the pictures. There you go. That is his steed, his noble steed. He has several different horses. He wrote, this is his traveling one for messages, and he has a black one for battle. This is a photo I did with a photographer. We kind of try to recreate my character, that's Sir Orric, and here he is fighting one of the dragons, the fire dragon. So he was posted to after the assassination of King Vanctor from his previous work called Vanctor, the High King. He was assassinated. He was previously was a royal guard. After that, he was reposted to this village called Dapsaf Village, which is stands a short for Damas place to set up a village. There it was between a valley of 2 mountains. One side, so that was the kingdom in the middle. He was posted to this village called Dapsaf. It was in the valley of 2 mountains. On the east, there were the ice dragons. On the west, there were the fire dragons, lava. So that village was right in the smack in the middle, and they would constantly get raided and attacked by dragons. And that's where Sir Orric was posted. He would do his best to defend the town and the livestock and the people from chaos and destruction from these 2 dragons constantly attacking the village and pillaging it. And there he met several people and friends, and also that during his time. If you'd like to find out more about Sir Orric's history and past, there's a web series which I created. Not all of them are Larp related, some of them are a bit more fantasy related, and he kind of teleports in and out through these different worlds because it's kind of a fun mini series I made. Yeah, so some of them are more medieval and some of them are linked, and in episode 8 that is when he ended up revisiting one of those old village and meeting some of these old characters which he used to know when he was doing patrols in the village, and the villagers know him. So that's a whole series about kind of Sir Orric's adventures, how he gets his swords, how he gets Oxtars, who is this Lady Meredith he's trying to return to propose, how did they meet, encounters. They're all different characters in this other world that he was from before he came over. So if you'd like to watch that, you can go check that out. I'll put that in the link somewhere. If not, this will be kind of vlog 1 of Sir Orric's adventure in this new kingdom. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for staying all the way. I hope to do a couple more, and if you like it, I will continue doing more, and you can follow along the adventure and find out what other things Sir Orric do and what other characters he meet and how does he grow and develop. Will he get his weapons? Will he get his sword? Will he actually meet vampires? Will he slay them? And this is going to be a whole exciting adventure. It'll be ongoing, and we will see what happens next. So this is Mark, signing out. Peace.